funny. It's almost like being part of a club.
All right, Arthur and I are having a conversation here. I suppose we should concentrate that we're on live television here, Arthur. The tablet is fast becoming a new game changer in the technology world of gadgets. Recently, the prospect of wireless charging without cables is fast becoming a reality. The editor-in-chief of Gadget, Arthur Goldstuck, is in studio with us to tell us a little bit more. Welcome, Arthur. So nice to see you.
Thank you.
Compliments for the new year. Thank you, and to you as well. So yesterday was a big day, and I know that Ayanda was at one of the schools where we were showing this new technology and this whole advent of the new age education system and tablets stealing center stage. What do you think of this?
It's very exciting and it's wonderful for the students, for the learners, but it's terrifying for the teachers, and that's where it's actually going to fall down.
Why do you say that?
Because teachers have to be taught not just how to use the technology, but how to teach with the technology, and it's very different. When you've had hundreds of years of teaching on blackboards and in textbooks, suddenly you want them to change the whole approach to how they not only interact with students, but also with the learning tools that they use. So you have to do it slowly. You have to phase it in. You can't just overnight say, okay, now we're going completely paperless, bang, one big bang, it's now a new world. That won't work. That is doomed to failure. So I think we can expect to see very disappointing results in some of these schools if the teachers haven't been sufficiently trained. And I haven't heard any talk about the extent to which teachers have been trained to teach using these tools.
Yeah, indeed, and I think we will really see the shortfalls or the shortcomings of teachers with the advent of this technology, because really, Google, anything cleverer than Google, I'm not too sure, and that's a reality. Opening the World Wide Web to a lot of ideas and to students, which is good for them.
The big benefit initially is that you can put every textbook on a tablet, and these days you can get tablets for R1,000, a decent tablet. And your entire textbooks for a typical year cost between 2,000 and 3,000 Rand. So if you can get a saving on those textbooks through having them electronically, and you only have to carry this one device around with you, imagine how much easier that makes the lives of the students. But then the teachers have to manage that, and they also have to manage the extent to which the kids are using the devices. And then there's one other element, and I've discovered that in schools that I've dealt with where they've tried to implement these programs. You need very good connectivity. You need serious Wi-Fi and good backhaul. In other words, a high-speed line connecting the school to the internet and then connecting that line to the Wi-Fi. And if you don't have that, then you're going to find continually that the teachers are frustrated, the students are frustrated, and eventually people just, especially the teachers, want to give it up. So I don't see an ecosystem having been developed for using tablets for teaching in these particular schools. So that worries me.
The connectivity, something we need to work on. We need to work on the basics before we jump ahead.
So the tablets is only one element. The technology is one element. The connectivity is a key element, and the teaching and the training of the teachers is the most critical element of all.
Indeed. And the safety of the students. I've heard that's been spoken about, but we're not going to focus in on that. But I mean, students having these tablets, it's also a bit of a threat.
There's no question about
that goes true. All right, let's look at some of the issues that are also that have come up, and I know there's been an amazing technology show that you attended recently in Las Vegas. Some exciting gadgets coming up. What are we looking at this year?
Well, I didn't attend it in person this year. I attended it virtually, followed the keynote addresses online, and received practically every press release that there was going, and there were hundreds of them, and analyzed that. And from that, it became very clear that this is going to be a very big year for car technology, automotive technology. And what we're seeing is, at first, the connected car, which is cars having any form of connectivity to the internet, to your smartphone, and being controlled from your smartphone. So they're building that technology into new cars that will come off production lines in the years to come. But quite a few companies at the CES event in Las Vegas launched devices or services where you can install them in existing cars and turn your existing stupid car into a smart car. So that's the current technology that you can actually use right now, or that's coming very soon. And then the most exciting of all was the autonomous vehicles that they demonstrated, and that means a self-driving vehicle.
The driverless car, the one that I know Google were the big ones to unveil.
Google has made the most noise, but at CES it wasn't Google. It was a range of companies. Mercedes-Benz showed an amazing concept car that's 15 years in the future. Looks beautiful, drives itself. But Audi had an A7 modified to drive from San Francisco to Las Vegas to arrive there in time for CES.
You're kidding me.
It had people in it assisting with the piloting of it, but they weren't actually driving the car as such.
Wow.
And then quite a few other manufacturers also showed what they currently have and what they're planning. So Ford, for example, they're always one of the big car manufacturers at CES. It's a tech show, but it's become as much a car technology show. And Ford showed their vision of the autonomous car of the future as well, and that's the fairly near future. But the connected car right now is the big
is the way to go. What about our devices? I mean, because they just move with the times constantly, and they're changing all the time. So we talk about cars, okay, but what about our devices that we hold in our hands and we keep close to our hearts?
Our devices are more and more connecting up with other services and devices that we use. Just before this segment, we talked about these little Fitbit devices.
I know that you and I are both wearing at the moment. It's quite funny, actually.
Exactly, and this is an example of something that ties in with your smartphone, and then ties in with a web dashboard as well. And you can monitor your entire life through a dashboard, either on your phone or on the web.
Amazing.
And it helps you to manage your life as well. And that was one of the big trends that we saw at CES, but it's been building for quite some time. The concept of activity, fitness and health monitoring. Everyone talks about wearables, but wearables as such will not sell. People don't go and say, what wearable shall I buy today? But they do say, what can I buy to improve my ability to monitor my health or my activity? And that's going to be the big, I think, explosion this year is fitness devices. They cost a lot less than smartwatches as well. Smartwatches are a big hype at the moment. Even the Apple Watch that's coming out this year, they cost too much and they do too little. But the fitness bands are the real deal.
Those are the real deals. Okay, I'm glad I'm in the inner circle. I am. You and I both. You're telling me you've done 1,000 steps today. I'm 153 ahead of you. 1,153.
Go to the car park.
Exactly. Anyway, listen, Arthur, always interesting. Thank you so much for talking to us here on the program. Arthur Goldstuck, of course, is the editor-in-chief of Gadget, talking to us about technology, tablets used in our schools, which we saw yesterday, and of course what to expect in the years ahead. Let's take a break. We've got to play out for you after this.